What is going on, guys? Miles here, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the patch notes for patch 1.05 in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I know this video is a little bit late as the patch has been out for a couple of days now, but hopefully some of you guys will find this video useful, and I still wanted to make it because there are quite a few big changes in this update. I'll start off with the biggest change, and that is the addition of a new map called Nuketown in Black Ops 4 multiplayer. Note that PS4 has some sort of exclusivity deal with Activision where they get a bunch of bonus content first on PS4 for 7 days, so Nuketown is now out on PS4, but it won't be available on Xbox or PC until the coming Tuesday. Which kind of sucks, but at least now it is only 7 days rather than the 30 days it was previously. As for Nuketown itself, I think this map looks really cool in Black Ops 4. I was expecting Treyarch to go with this futuristic theme, kind of like a hybrid between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 as you would expect, but they went kind of old school and they went to like a Cold War vibe sort of theme with Nuketown in Black Ops 4, which I think does look really good. A few gameplay changes have been made to Blackout. Some of them are permanent, some of them are only temporary. For the first one, the Bowie knife has been added into the game and you can use it to get a one-hit kill with melee. I don't think this is going to be that useful when you consider the Brawler perk is already a thing, and this thing seems to be very rare as I haven't found a single Bowie knife since this update came out. Character missions for the campaign characters, which would be Reznov, Mason, Woods as well as Menendez, have now been made available in Blackout. I'll be making a video covering how to get all of them once we get more information on them. And finally, they have added some zombie spawns into Nuketown itself, and they've also added a supply stash spawn behind the Nuketown sign. Now, I believe this change is only going to be temporary, and they did it because of the new Nuketown map in multiplayer. Moving on to some weapon changes. For this patch, Treyarch have made changes to both multiplayer and Blackout weapons, so it might be a little bit confusing, but I'll try and specify which changes are only for multiplayer and which are available for both Blackout as well as multiplayer. Starting off with some SMGs, a lot of these have been buffed because for the MX9, the GKS, the Cordite as well as the Spitfire, Treyarch have slightly increased the aim down sight's movement speed for both multiplayer as well as Blackout. And in multiplayer only, Treyarch have made it possible to get a 5-bullet kill with some of the submachine guns. So for the MX9 you can now get a 5-bullet kill up to 6 meters. For the GKS you can now get a 5-bullet kill up to 3 meters. For the Cordite you can now get a 5-hit kill up to 3 meters. And finally for the Spitfire they increased the 6-hit kill range by 3 meters, and you can't actually get a 5-bullet kill with the Spitfire. Next up we have some assault rifles. Starting off with the Maddox, they have slightly increased the recoil of the first and second shots, which once again is going to be a change for both Blackout as well as multiplayer. Not a huge nerf to the weapon, but I do feel like it is kind of necessary because that weapon is quite powerful and I would probably consider it one of the best weapons in the game right now. And also when you're using the Echo Fire Operator mod for the Maddox, they have removed the recoil penalty. The KN-57 has seen a couple of buffs as the weapon now has reduced idle sway in both Blackout and multiplayer, and for multiplayer only they have increased the 4-hit kill range by 1.5 meters, so very small buffs to the weapon, but I do feel like it was kind of necessary because I felt like the KN got outclassed by the ICR and the Maddox. Moving on to the Rampart, this weapon has seen a few buffs as well. It now has reduced idle sway and reduced recoil for the first and third shots in both multiplayer and Blackout, and for multiplayer only they have increased the 4-hit kill range by 3 meters. The only tactical rifle which has seen changes is the Swordfish, as they have slightly reduced the delay between bursts as well as reduced the idle sway for this weapon in both Blackout and multiplayer. And for multiplayer only they have changed the Penta Burst Operator mod as it now uses standard burst delay. The Titan light machine gun has seen a few nerfs as well. The weapon now has reduced aim down sight speed as well as an increased sprint out time in both multiplayer and Blackout. And for multiplayer only this weapon now has an increased hip fire spread, and the stock attachment has been nerfed for this weapon as well. Next up we have the sniper rifles, and the Outlaw has seen a ton of buffs in this patch, which is a bit strange because I feel like this weapon gets buffed in every single patch for the game, so surely it's going to be a beast at some point. But For the Outlaw, they have increased the fire rate for this weapon, they have reduced the idle sway, they've increased the ADS speed, they have updated the animation to make it easier to stay on target after shooting, and they've also made it so the recoil centers more reliably, and all of those changes I mentioned are for Blackout or multiplayer. And there is one multiplayer specific change, and that is an increase to the base damage by 10, which will only affect the shots to kill on a target who's already damaged. For the SDM, they added aim assist whilst hip firing, and I'm not sure what I think about that change. I don't know why it was implemented, because the SDM is absolutely insane in Blackout, and this is just going to make it even stronger, so I'm not a huge fan of that change, to be honest. And as for the Koshka, they've made the recoil center more reliably after the first shot. Finally, the SG-12 has seen a few nerfs, but only in multiplayer. They have reduced the visual effect of the strobe light operator mod, and they have reduced the range at which it affects your aim assist. So they were all of the changes made to weapons in the game. Moving on to multiplayer specialists, the Ajax specialist has been absolutely butchered in this update, as they have nerfed Ajax in so many different ways. They have reduced the 9-bang flash effect duration by 25%, they've made the 9-bang more countered effectively by the tactical mask perk, they have increased the bullet spread by 25% in the fortify stance when using ballistic shield, they have reduced the turn speed of Ajax when he's hit by a concussion with his ballistic shield out. They fixed the bug which prevented Ajax from being hit from behind with the ballistic shield open. Not sure what exactly was going on there. And finally, they added a third-person sound effect for charges 2 and 3 of the 9-bang. Prophet has seen a few buffs once again in this patch. They have improved the accuracy of the Tempest, and charges of the Tempest which are attached to players can't be destroyed by explosives, so I think Prophet was really bad a few patches ago, so I feel like this buff is fair enough, but I'm hoping he doesn't become too powerful in future patches. Moving on to some of the changes made to perks in multiplayer, the tactical mask perk has been buffed, as you now have increased resistance to 9-bangs, concussion grenades, as well as razor wires. Flak jacket has been buffed as well, as you now take reduced explosive damage, which I feel like is good because I felt flak jacket was kind of useless before this patch. Hopefully it's not going to be as useless now. Cold-blooded has been buffed a bit, as it now takes enemy AI longer to target you if you have this perk equipped. I felt like Cold-Blooded was an alright perk before this patch, so don't exactly know if this buff was necessary. And finally, for Dead Silence, you will now be suppressed with sounds related to healing, full damage or swimming, and this change will affect both multiplayer and Blackout. But there we have it, they were the most significant changes in the recent patch 1.05 for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Alongside this, there was a ton of bug fixes for both multiplayer as well as zombies, which is really nice to see. And also there have been a few spawn changes to most of the multiplayer maps as well, which is nice. But hopefully you guys found this video useful. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Black Ops 4, but I'll see you guys in another video.